All right, here we go. Hari Hari Bo to all of you. Happy that you're here. Hope you're all doing well and happy in your spiritual endeavors. Friday night here in Bhaktiville equals Nectar of Devotion. Continuing our reading about the different relationships one can have with Lord Krishna. Thank you. All right, so different relationships, that's called rasa. So we'll resume where we left off last week on the chapter tonight about fraternal devotion. It's page 329 of the book or page 367 of the PDF. But first, let me offer my obeisances to my Guru. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Putale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namane. I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is very dear to Lord Krishna, having taken shelter at his lotus feet. And to the devotees, Panchakalpa Tarubhyascha, Kripasindubhye Vacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. I also offer my respectful obeisances unto the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, here and around the world, and you listening at home. They are just like desire trees and can fulfill the desires of everyone, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. So tonight we are joined by Kandita is here, Bhakti Mimulus is here, and I see that Bhakti Greece is online, so he'll be here shortly, I think. So let's go ahead and get started. We're on page 329, and I'll start on the first full paragraph there. There is a description of Krishna's feeling for his Vaisyas in Vrindavan. Those are his friends. He once said to Balaram, quote, "My dear brother, when my companions were being devoured by the Aghasura, hot tears poured down from my eyes, and as they were washing my cheeks, my dear elder brother, for at least one moment, I completely lost myself." Oh, Greece is here. Hi. End quote. So within Gokula, Krishna's Vaisyas are generally divided into four groups. 1. Well-wishers. 2. Friends. 3. Confidential friends. And 4. Intimate friends. Krishna's well-wisher friends are a little bit older than Krishna, and they have some parental affection for him. Because of their being older than Krishna, they always try to protect him from any harm, as would any big brother, right? So as such, they sometimes bear weapons so that they can chastise any mischievous persons who want to do harm to Krishna. Counted amongst the well-wisher friends are Subhadra, and there's a footnote there, not to be confused with Krishna's sister of the same name, and her name would be is pronounced Subhadra. Okay, continuing with the list of well-wisher friends, Mandali Bhadra, Bhadravardhana, Gopata, Yaksha, Indrabhata, Bhadranga, Virabhadra, Mahaguna, Vijaya, and Balabhadra. They are older than Krishna and are always thinking of his welfare. One of the elderly friends said, quote, "My dear Mandali Bhadra, why are you wielding a shining sword as though you were running towards Arishtashur to kill him? My dear Baladev, why are you unnecessarily bearing that heavy plow? And my dear Vijay, don't be so unnecessarily agitated. My dear Bhadravardhani, there is no need to make these threatening motions. If you will all look more closely, you will see that it is only a thundercloud upon Govardhan Hill. It is not the Aristasura in the shape of a bull, as you have imagined." End quote. These older, well-wishing friends of Krishna imagined a large cloud to be the Aristasura, appearing in the shape of a huge bull. In the midst of their excitement, one of them ascertained that it was actually only a cloud on Govardhan Hill. He therefore informed the others not to take the trouble of worrying about Krishna because there was no present danger from Arishtashura. All right, so there's some conversation here in chat. Kandita asked, did you say that all of Krishna's cowherd friends are older? No, just the well-wisher friends. Srila Prabhupada says that there are 4 categories, and this is the first category, the well-wisher friends, and they are older than him. Okay, she says thanks. All right, so continuing on. Amongst the well-wisher friends, I need to move my PDF over. Amongst the well-wisher friends, Mandali Bhadra and Balabhadra are the chiefs. Mandali Bhadra is described as follows. His complexion is yellowish, and his dress is very attractive. He always carries a stick of various colors. He wears a peacock feather on his head and always looks very beautiful. Mandali Bhadra's attitude is revealed in his statement, quote, my dear friends, our beloved Krishna is now very tired from working with the cows in the pasturing grounds and from traveling all over the forest. I can see that he is very fatigued. Let me massage his head silently while he is taking rest in his house. And you, Subala, you just massage his thighs, end quote. One devotee described the personal beauty of Baladeva as follows, quote, let me take shelter of the lotus feet of Balaram, whose beauty is enhanced by the earrings touching his cheeks. His face is decorated with tilak made from kasturi, musk, and his broad chest is decorated with a garland of gunja, small conch shells. His complexion is as white as an autumn cloud. He wears garments of blue color, and his voice is very grave. His arms are very long, touching his thighs, and he has shown his great strength by killing the Pralamba demon. Let me take shelter of this chivalrous Balaram, end quote. And there's a footnote here. Balaram and Baladev are different names for the same expansion of Krishna. He is Krishna's elder brother. Baladeva's affection for Krishna, back to the text, is illustrated in this statement to Subal. Quote, my dear friend, please inform Krishna not to go to Kaliya's lake today. Today is his birthday, and I so wish to go along with Mother Yashoda to bathe him. Tell him he should not leave the house today, end quote. This shows how Balaram, Krishna's elder brother, took care of Krishna with parental love within the scope of fraternal affection. Friends who were younger than Krishna, who were always attached to him, and who gave him all kinds of service, are called ordinary friends, or simply friends. Such ordinary friends are called sakas, and the names of some sakas are Vishala, Rishabha, Ojasvi, Devaprastha, Varutapa, Maranda, Kusumapida, Manibanda, and Karandam. All of these Saka friends of Krishna sought only to serve him. Sometimes some of them would rise early in the morning and immediately go to Krishna's place and wait at the door to see Krishna and to accompany him to the pasturing grounds. In the meantime, Krishna would be dressed by Mother Yashoda, and when she would see a boy standing at the door, she would call to him, well, Vishal, why are you standing there? Come here. So with the permission of Mother Yashoda, he would immediately enter the house. And while Mother Yashoda was dressing Krishna, he would try to help put on Krishna's ankle bells, and Krishna would jokingly strike him with his flute. Then Mother Yashoda would call, Krishna, what is this? Why are you teasing your friend? And Krishna would laugh, and the friend would also laugh. These are some of the activities of Krishna's sakas. Sometimes the sakas would take care of the cows who were going hither and thither. They would tell Krishna, Your cows are going off here and there, and Krishna would thank them. Sometimes when Krishna and his Sakhas went to the pasturing ground, Kamsa would send a demon to kill Krishna. Therefore, almost every day there was a fight with some different kind of demon. After fighting with the demon, Krishna would feel fatigued. The hairs on his head would be scattered, and the Sakhas would immediately come and try to relieve him in different ways. Some friends would say, quote, "My dear Vishal, please take this fan of lotus leaves and fan Krishna so that he may feel some comfort. Varutapa, you just brush the scattered hairs on Krishna's head, which have fallen upon his face. Rishabha, don't talk unnecessarily. Immediately massage Krishna's body. His arms have become tired from fighting and wrestling with that demon. Oh, just see how our friend Krishna has become tired." End quote. These are some examples of the treatment given to Krishna by the Sakhas. One of the Sakhas, known as Devaprastha, is described as follows. He is very strong, a ready scholar, and is very expert in playing ball. He wears a white dress, and he ties his hair into a bunch with a rope. Whenever there is a fight between Krishna and the demons, Devaprastha is the first to help, and he fights just like an elephant. Priest has a comment. Oh, he says, fighting demons is hard work, after all. That's right. Bhaktivinoda knows a devotee named Devaprastha. Yeah, I know some devotees of these names also. It's very awesome, isn't it? One of the gopis once said to her friend, quote, "My dear beautiful friend, when Krishna, the son of Maharaj Nanda, was taking rest within the cave of a hill, he was keeping his head on the arms of Sridham, and he was putting his left hand on Dama's chest. Taking this opportunity, Devaprastha, out of his strong affection for Krishna, immediately began to massage his legs." End quote. Such are the activities of Krishna's friends out on the pasturing grounds. The more confidential friends are called Priya Sakhas. They're almost Krishna's age. Because of their very confidential friendship, their behavior is only on the basis of pure friendship. Other friends' behavior is on the ground of paternal love or servitude, but the basic principle of the confidential friends is simply friendship on an equal level. Some confidential friends are as follows: Sri Dama, Sudama, Dama, Vasudama, Kinkini, Stoka Krishna, Amshu, Bhadrasena, Vilasina, Pundarika, Vitanka, and Kalavinka. By their various activities in different pastimes, all of these friends used to give transcendental pleasure to Krishna. The behavior of these confidential friends is described by a friend of Radharani, who told Radharani, quote, "My dear graceful Radharani, your intimate friend Krishna is also served by his intimate boyfriends. Some of them cut jokes with him in mild voices and please him very much by this." End quote. For example, Krishna had one Brahmana friend whose name was Madhumangala. This boy would joke by playing the part of a greedy Brahmana. Whenever the friends ate, he would eat more than all the others, especially laddus, of which he was very fond. Then, after eating more laddus than anyone else, Madhumangala would still not be satisfied, and he would say to Krishna, quote, "If you give me one more laddu, then I shall be pleased to give you my blessings, so that your friend Radharani will be very much pleased with you." End quote. The Brahmanas are supposed to give blessings to the Vaishyas, the farming and merchant caste, and Krishna presented himself as the son of Maharaj Nanda, a Vaishya. So the Brahmana boy was right in giving blessings to Krishna. Thus Krishna was very pleased by his friend's blessings, and he would supply him with more and more laddus. Greece is laughing in chat. It's very funny. And laddus are especially wonderful. Sometimes a confidential friend would come before Krishna and embrace him with great affection and love. Another friend would then come up from the rear and cover Krishna's eyes with his hands. Krishna would always feel very happy by such dealings with his confidential friends. Dr. Grease says in chat, more laddus, absolutely more laddus. Out of all these confidential friends, Sridham is considered to be the chief. Sridham used to put on a yellow-colored dress. He would carry a buffalo horn, and his turban was of reddish copper color. His bodily complexion was blackish, and around his neck there was a nice garland. He would always challenge Krishna in joking friendship. Let us pray to Sudama to bestow his mercy upon us. Sometimes Sridham used to address Krishna, quote, "Oh, you are so cruel that you left us alone on the bank of the Yamuna, and we were all mad from not seeing you there. Now it is our great fortune that we are able to see you here. If you want to pacify us, you must embrace each one of us with your arms. But believe me, my dear friend, a moment's absence from you creates great havoc, not only for us, but for the cows also. Everything becomes disarranged, and we become mad after you." End quote. There are other friends who are still more confidential. They are called Priya Narma, or intimate friends. Counted among the Priya Narma friends are Subal, Arjuna, Gandharva, Vasanta, and Ujjvala. There was talk among the friends of Radharani, gopis, about these most intimate friends. One gopi addressed Radharani thusly, quote, "My dear Krishangi, delicate one, just see how Subal is whispering your message into Krishna's ear, how he is delivering the confidential letter of Shamadasi silently into Krishna's hand, how he is delivering the betel nuts prepared by Palika into Krishna's mouth, and how he is decorating Krishna with the garland prepared by Taraka. Did you know, my dear friend, that all these most intimate friends of Krishna are always engaged in his service in this way?" End quote. Out of the many intimate Priyanarmas, Subal and Ujjvala are considered to be the most prominent. Subal's body is described as follows. His complexion is just like molten gold. He is very, very dear to Krishna. He always has a garland around his neck, and he wears yellow clothing. His eyes are just like lotus flower petals, and he is so intelligent that by his talking and his moral instructions, all the other friends take the highest pleasure. Let us all offer our respectful obeisances unto Krishna's friend Subal. The degree of intimacy shared by Krishna and Subal can be understood by the fact that the talks between them were so confidential that no one else could understand what they were saying. The description of Ujjvala, another intimate friend, is given as follows. Ujjvala always wears some garment of orange color, and the movements of his eyes are always very restless. He likes to decorate himself with all kinds of flowers. His bodily hue is almost like Krishna's, and on his neck there is always a necklace of pearls. He is always very dear to Krishna. Let us all worship Ujjvala, the most intimate friend of Krishna. About the confidential service of Ujjvala, this statement is to be found, addressed by Radharani to one of her friends. Quote, "My dear friend, it is impossible for me to keep my prestige. I wanted to avoid talking to Krishna anymore, but just see, there again is his friend Ujjvala coming to me with his canvassing work. His entreaties are so powerful that it is very difficult for a gopi to resist her love for Krishna, even though she may be very bashful, devoted to her family duties, and most faithful to her husband. End quote. Greece says, so these are his cowherd friends. Yes, Ujjvala, that Radharani was just speaking about, is one of his um, intimate friends, the Priya Narma. The following is a statement by Ujjvala showing his jubilant nature. Quote, O dear Krishna, O killer of Aghasura, you have extended your loving affairs so much that you can be compared to the great ocean, which is without limitations. At the same time, the young girls of the world, who are all searching after the perfect lover, have become just like rivers running into this ocean. Under the circumstances, all these rivers of young girls may try to divert their courses to some other place, but at the end they must come unto you. End quote. Amongst the groups of different friends of Krishna, some are well known from various scriptures, and some are well known by popular tradition. There are three divisions amongst Krishna's friends. Some are eternally in friendship with Krishna, some are elevated demigods, and some are perfected devotees. In all of these groups, there are some who by nature are fixed in Krishna's service and are always engaged in giving counsel. Some of them are very fond of joking and naturally cause Krishna to smile by their words. Some of them are by nature very simple, and by their simplicity, they please Lord Krishna. Some of them create wonderful situations by their activities, apparently against Krishna. Some of them are very talkative, always arguing with Krishna and creating a debating atmosphere. And some of them are very gentle and give pleasure to Krishna by their sweet words. All of these friends are very intimate with Krishna, and they show expertise in their different activities, their aim always being to please Krishna. What a great chapter. So because we started 10 minutes late, I'm going to go 10 minutes past our regular ending time. Okay, so people say yes in chat. Okay, good. So chapter 42, Fraternal Loving Affairs. Krishna's age, his beauty, his bugle, his flute, his conch shell, and his pleasing attitude all provoke love and friendship for him. His exceptional joking abilities, exhibited sometimes by his pretending to be a royal prince or even the Supreme Personality of Godhead, also gives impetus to devotees developing love for Krishna in friendship. Learned scholars have divided Krishna's age into three periods. The age up to 5 years is called Kumara. The age from the 6th to the 10th years is called Paganda. And the age from the 11th to 15th year is called Kaishora. While Krishna is spending his days as a cowherd boy, he is in the Kumara and Paganda ages. In the Kaishora age, when Krishna appeared at Gokula, he acted as a cowherd boy. And then, when he was 16, he went to Mathura to kill Kamsa. The Kumara age is just suitable for reciprocating the love of a child with Mother Yashoda. In the 10th canto, 13th chapter, 19th verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukadeva Goswami tells King Parikshit, quote, My dear king, although Lord Krishna is the supreme enjoyer and the beneficiary of all kinds of sacrificial ceremonies, he still used to eat with his cowherd boyfriends. This is because at that time he accepted the pastimes of an ordinary boy, keeping his flute under his arm and his bugle on the right side of his belt, along with his cane. In his left hand, he would hold a lump of rice paste with yogurt, and in his fingers would be pilu, the king of fruits. When he would thus sit amongst his friends, it would appear that he was the whorl of a lotus flower, and that the friends surrounding him were petals. As they thus enjoyed joking amongst themselves, the denizens of heaven would become struck with wonder and would only stare at the scene. End quote. Krishna's Paganda age can be further divided into three periods, namely the beginning, middle, and end. In the beginning of the Paganda age, there is a very nice reddish luster on his lips. His abdomen is very thin, and on his neck are circles like those on a conch shell. Sometimes some outside visitors would return to Vrindavan to see Krishna, and upon seeing him again would exclaim, quote, "My dear Mukunda, your beauty is gradually increasing, just like the leaf on a banyan tree. My dear lotus-eyed one, your neck is gradually manifesting circles like the conch shell, and in the shining moonlight, your teeth and cheeks are competing with the Padmaraga jewels in their beautiful arrangement. I am sure that your beautiful bodily development is now giving much pleasure to your friends." So Krishna has three creases on his neck, and this is what's being described there as that on his neck. At this age, Krishna was garlanded with various kinds of flowers. He used to put on a silk dress, colored with various kinds of dye. Such beautiful decorations are considered cosmetics for Krishna. Krishna would wear this dress when he used to go into the forest to tend the cows. Sometimes he would wrestle there with his different friends, and sometimes they would dance all together in the forest. These are some of the specific activities of the Paganda age. So I just want to make this more clear. He's not wearing a dress like a woman would wear a dress. Prabhupada is saying this kind of outfit. He's wearing this kind of outfit, a silk outfit. The cowherd friends of Krishna were so happy in his company that they expressed their transcendental feelings within themselves thus, quote, "My dear Krishna, you are always busy tending the cows, which are scattered all over beautiful Vrindavan. You have a beautiful garland, a small conch shell, a peacock feather on your turban, yellow-colored silk cloth, decorations of karnikara flowers on your ears, and a mallika flower garland on your chest. Appearing so beautiful, when you pretend, just like an actor, to be fighting with us, you give us unlimited transcendental bliss." End quote. Greece comments, "If he was a cross-dresser, I was not going to judge. I mean, who's going to tell Krishna he can't do that?" It's true. There are pastimes where he does dress up as a girl, mostly just to trick Radharani and get to be in her company more closely. So there are times when he does dress up as a girl, but this is not it. Maybe there will be a story like that later. Yes, Greece says, "What a smart idea." Yes, very smart idea. Um, when Krishna is more grown up in the middle age of Paganda, his nails become finely sharp, and his chubby cheeks become lustrous and round. On the two sides of his waist, above his belt, there are three distinct lines of folded skin called tribali. The cowherd boyfriends of Krishna felt very proud of their association with him. At that time, the tip of his nose defeated the beauty of the sesame flowers. The luster of his cheeks defeated the glow of the pearls, and the two sides of his body were exquisitely beautiful. In this age, Krishna wore a silk dress that glittered like lightning. His head was decorated with a silk turban covered with gold lace, and in his hand he carried a stick about 56 inches long. And there's a footnote. It says the specific pastimes in this period took place in a forest known as Bandiravan. This Bandiravan, along with 11 other vanas or forests, still existing in the Vrindavan area, and devotees who circumambulate the whole area of Vrindavan can know the beauty of these forests even today. Back to the text. Seeing this exquisitely beautiful dress of Krishna, one devotee addressed his friend in this manner, quote, "My dear friend, just look at Krishna. See how he is carrying in his hand a stick, which is bound up and down with golden rings. How his turban, with golden lace, is showing such a beautiful luster, and how his dress is giving his friends the highest transcendental pleasure." End quote. At the end of Krishna's Paganda age, Krishna's hair sometimes hangs down to his hips, and sometimes it becomes scattered. In this age, his two shoulders become higher and broader, and his face is always decorated with marks of tilak. When his beautiful hair scatters over his shoulders, it appears to be a goddess of fortune embracing him, and this embracing is highly relished by his friends. Subal once addressed him in this way, quote, "My dear Keshava," and that's Keshava with the hair. That's what Keshava is referring to. "Your round turban, the lotus flower in your hand, the vertical marks of tilak on your forehead, your kumkum flowered musk, and all of your beautiful bodily features are defeating me today, although I am usually stronger than you or any of your friends. Since this is so, I do not know how these features of your body can fail to defeat the pride of all the young girls of Vrindavan. When I am so defeated by this beauty, what chance is there for those who are naturally very simple and flexible?" End quote. At this age, Krishna took pleasure in whispering into the ears of his friends, and the subject of his talks was the beauty of the gopis, who were just tarrying before them. Subal once addressed Krishna thus, quote, "My dear Krishna, you are very cunning. You can understand the thoughts of others. Therefore, I am whispering within your ear that all of these 5 gopis, who are most beautiful, have been attracted by your dress, and I believe that Cupid has entrusted them with the responsibility of conquering you." End quote. In other words, the beauty of the gopis was capable of conquering Krishna, although Krishna is the conqueror of all universes. I think that's a fabulous place to stop. So we'll stop right there. Any questions or comments? Dr. Mimula says thank you. You're very, very welcome, and thank you. Thank you for letting me read every night. Pandita says, I have seen some people have these type of ring creases, in their necks, and it's very beautiful. It's rare. It's true.
Especially in, I've seen some very young girls um, have that at a certain age, and I wish I could have captured a photograph of them or something. They were on television, and you you know, it would be really great to be able to put it in paintings. It's hard to get it just right.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like even rings. You know, there's kind of like a gradation that it's hard to explain, but anyway.
My daughter had a friend when she was in elementary school who had a little boy had those three creases in his neck, and it was really mesmerizing. I was like, "That's just like Krishna. Look at that. Look at his neck." I couldn't keep my eyes off of his neck.
Oh,
Anyway,
wow, really?
and Greece says, uh, "Conquer
Huh.
us."
He says what?
Well, Greece says the gopis will conquer Krishna, even though He is the conqueror of the universe. Cool. He likes that. And Buck says, I assume those wrinkles or creases are not from old age, right? No, they are not from old. I've only seen them in children. I've never seen them in adults.
Yeah.
Because Krishna is only aged to like 15 or 16, right?
Yeah.
I've seen some in some adults, but it's rare.
All right, my friends, there we have it. So we'll dive back in next week, same place, same time. Have a wonderful week.
Yes.
All
Thank
good.
you.
All fine.
Try.
Thank you, Dossie, for reading for us tonight. You did a wonderful
Thank
job,
you.
as always.
Thank you. You're very welcome. And again, thank you for letting me come every Friday night to do this. I really enjoy it. It's
You did
wonderful.
get your... Oh, I'm sorry.
It's wonderful to be in your presence, all of you also.